Alrighty then, let's get started with today's episode. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing where we left off last time, where we kind of did a bit of exploration through Kakariko Village, took care of a little bit of a side quest, and yeah, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be visiting the graveyard. There's a lot of other things that we kind of want to do in Kakariko, even after this episode. There's a couple of things that I still want to do, but yeah, what we're going to be doing is getting one of the most major aspects of this part of the game out of the way ASAP. So as I'm sure you've already seen, this guy is known as Dampe, and he is the caregiver, so to speak, of the graveyard here. And I'm sure that you can also tell that he's really slow when it comes to moving. And I'm surprised they didn't even improve on this in the newer, like when they did the remake. So I'm just going to pull this grave here because if some of these graves, if you pull them, not only will a Poe appear, but you can also get a blue rupee, which is 5 rupees, to kind of replace some of the ones that you lose by doing this minigame, because the minigame costs 10 rupees, and I don't think he's close enough, so we're going to have him move forward a little bit and get this thing away from me. And yeah, so it's worthwhile to do this because there is a major prize that you can get here, but it's all RNG based, so you have to kind of watch your rupee count, and you may have to leave a couple times, go get the rupees again, and keep coming back here. But should you get lucky enough, you can get a heart piece. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can do this game repeatedly over and over again and still find heart pieces. I think that glitch is still in this game, so you can kind of go about doing that. So there's that, and I believe there's another glitch that we can do. We'll have to see whenever we get to it, because we're kind of still dealing with the graveyard. There's at least another 2 or 3 things that we need to do here. We're going to also have to get a new shield, which is also something that we're going to be getting here, and you'll find out why here shortly. But as you can see on like below our feet, there's a Triforce symbol, and usually when you see these, you're going to want to play Zelda's Lullaby, so that way you can kind of cause something to happen. Of course, in this instance, we're destroying a grave, so it happens to be one of the royal family graves, so fantastic that we just decided to do that. So the graveyard kind of introduces a few new enemies. We've already kind of ran into the Poe. There's also geese here, which are kind of like annoying bats. I could have swore that this was a another geese, but it's just a skeleton. You got a couple more over here. You have to kill them before you can actually open up the next door. So just kill this one. Okay, and that should be all of them. And now that the door is open, we can run into the next new enemy that we can find in this game. They would be known as Redeads. Redeads, they'll let out a startling scream, and it stuns you long enough for them to kind of crawl towards you, and then eventually they can like make an attempt to latch onto you and start trying to kill you. They do a decent amount of damage, so you probably want to avoid them at all costs, which is why you saw me kind of go through the poison there. Easiest way to avoid them is just to take minimal damage, rather than taking significant damage. So you want to come here because you get a new song, of course, being the Sun Song, and this song is actually it's really useful. You can do a lot of things with this. For example, when it comes to Castletown, as I'm sure we all remember, the drawbridge goes up at night, so you cannot access Castletown. Sun Song, what it does is when played, if it's nighttime, it will make it daytime, and vice versa. So since it was nighttime when we first came into the graveyard, it's now going to be daytime. So this is something that we also don't really want, but starting at nighttime was beneficial because that way we were able to get the Dampe minigame out of the way to get that heart piece. So want to kind of avoid all these Redeads and take as very minimal damage as possible. I had to record this multiple times, of course, because again, the heart piece is kind of RNG based, and there's the whole getting rupees thing. I mean, you could sit there and just continuously, record. I guess you could sit there and repeatedly record over and over again and keep getting the rupees from the graves. I didn't want to do that, but whatever. But as you'll see, it's daytime now, and there's a new NPC here. This kid is here to he's kind of a, he looks up to Dampe, and he can't play the game that we played for whatever reason. I don't understand how that works. Maybe, I think it might be a different game he's talking about, I'm not entirely sure, but whatever. But he prevents you from being able to pull graves in during the day, so you kind of want to, you know, take care of that. But first we're going to break this rock because there's some bugs under here that you can get, and we kind of need them in order to take care of something. But obviously, again, we need it to be night, so we're going to just get out our ocarina and play the sun song. So once we're done doing this, for whatever reason we're going to get teleported back on the complete other side of this area, but now it'll be night again, so obviously again, can we stop doing that? I'd like to roll, but now that it's nighttime, we can pull graves, and we want to come over here with the bugs. What you can do is you can just let the bugs out, and they'll kind of dig into this little patch of soil, and as you can see, you can't repick them up like you could in the original, which sucks, but whatever. After a few seconds, they will force out a gold Skulltula that was kind of hiding in there, so fantastic. Apparently there's, I think, like 9 more just like this somewhere in the game, so yeah. I don't know if I want to 100% the gold Skulltulas, but there are a few rewards for doing so that are worthwhile. The only ones that are worthwhile actually do not require you to get all 100 Skulltulas, so I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that, but now that we have the Hylian shield, as I mentioned before, we're going to need a new shield later down the line, and again, that'll be further explained once we get around to a certain part of this episode, because yeah, we have to make our way there. We're not done with the graves yet, though. If you come over to this grave, you can pull on it, and another little entranceway appears that we can go down. If you go down here, you're going to find a re-dead, and you want to kill it, and then once it's dead, you can play the sun song to make a chest appear. And inside that chest, you will be able to find a, see, as you can see, it stuns you, but it only lasts for a few seconds, and then, as you can see, let's see how it tried to grab me, but I managed to kind of get out of that. I don't exactly know how I managed to do that, but, and now it's dead. So now what you want to do is you want to just stand basically in this area. You want to whip out your ocarina and play the sun song. Like I said, you'll get a chest to appear that has a heart piece in it, so I highly recommend that you do it. I like how for a split second there Link's feet were just like around his waist, but I don't know, the weird things that happen in this game in regards to like chests like spawning right under you and crap. But yeah, so we have 5 hearts now, which is pretty cool. Can't really complain about that. More hearts equals more health. And we didn't spend very many rupees actually getting that 1 heart piece, which is really good, because I mean, it'd be a pain in the ass if we had to work up a bunch of rupees again, because we may need them later in the line. I'm just going to pick up another bug in a bottle, pick up those as well, and why not rupee. So we're just going to throw that rock, get ourselves another bug for later, and yeah, we can kind of get out of the graveyard now, because there's really not much else that we can do, at least at this point. There's certain items that we need for the rest of that area, and we just don't have the stuff for it. So, considering it's still nighttime, you know, we have a few things that we can now do. The first thing that we're going to be taking care of is a few more Skulltulas that you can find, that you can only find at night, might I add. The first one you can find over here. It's behind this one house, near these pots. Obviously you want to be careful, because if you try to, you know, kill it too fast, you're obviously going to lose a heart of health. And, yeah. So there's another one that you can find over here. Just got to use your slingshot to kill it, essentially. And then all you have to do is just climb up the ladder to get to it. So remember before how I mentioned how there was the glitch with the graveyard where you were able to repeatedly get heart pieces. Of course I'm not going to do this, it'd be stupid and unfair for the game, but there is one thing that I am definitely going to do. This is normally a heart piece that you can't get until you're an adult. If you kind of like you try to target and then you do a side hop over here, you can land on the fence. And then you can just kind of jump up on this roof and talk to this guy. You cannot talk to him normally until you're an adult, but through this you're capable of talking to him, and you get a piece of heart for doing so. So if you want to get a piece of heart earlier, feel free to do so. If you don't want to do this, then feel free to just get it later down the line. Either way, you're going to eventually want to get it anyways, because everyone tries to go for full hearts. So another gold Skulltula that you can find over here at this tree. I'm pretty sure that we've all remembered that if you roll into trees, you can get things to fall out of them, and this one just so happens to have a gold Skulltula, so you want to kill that. If you want to get some of these cool things that you can get at the Skulltula house, which is right next to us, by the way. We're going to take a look in there here in a few and see if any of the rewards are available, so to speak. So, I mean, it's something that we can do, but obviously I don't remember the order of things that we get, but yeah. Now, as you saw earlier on, I did equip the letter from Zelda, and the reason for that is because you want to bring it over to this guy. Obviously, we were told to come over to Kakariko because of Death Mountain, and we are currently unable to get there because of a sign that he says that, you know, blah blah blah. But by showing him the letter from Zelda, he will not only grant us access, but he'll also unlock a new side quest that we can also start as well. And it would be a Happy Mask thing. And he also tells us to go and get the Hylian shield essentially from the Castletown area, but you can also just get it for free in the graveyard like we already did. I like how he had to tell us that we needed to get a shield even though we already have it equipped. But as he mentioned, there was the Happy Mask shop in Castletown that we're going to be going to now just to get that first mask to kind of demonstrate exactly how this works. So yeah, and we also kind of get to demonstrate exactly what I said before in regards to the Sun Song, where you can use it to lower the drawbridge by making it day. So it's a really good song to have, and obviously you want to do it just right away because it's going to take a couple seconds for the sun to come up anyways. As you're about to notice, you'll see these skull friends come out of the grave, or not out of the grave, but out of the ground. And as you can see over in the distance, the drawbridge is now being relowered, so we don't have to wait outside and kill things for a good couple minutes just to get the drawbridge to come down. So it's, again, convenient. And I believe it's useful in a few other areas in the game as well, but it's mostly just for something like this, where you want to get the drawbridge to lower so you can go into Castletown. So, I don't know. I guess I can leave that up to you, the viewers, to determine whether or not the Sun Song is worthwhile or not. I'm pretty sure anyone that's previously played this game has come to kind of be grateful to have it as a thing to, it's, believe it or not, the Sun Song is for the most part optional. So it's one of those nice things to just have. So the Happy Mask shop, as I'm sure you noticed, he's going to basically lend us this mask to sell it. If we sell it, we give him a portion of what we make, and of course we get to keep a portion of what we make as well. This can result in you losing rupees. It can also result in you gaining rupees. So it's just something that I feel like I should mention. But yes, you don't have to pay for the mask and then sell it to someone else in order to make a profit. You're given the mask for free, and then you're supposed to sell it, and then you're supposed to take the amount that you got back to him, and so technically the way it works is he wants the mask to sell for a certain amount, but we can end up getting more. So as you're going to see here in a few moments when we go talk to that one guard again, you'll see that it says, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, it'll say that it's supposed to sell for 10 rupees, but we actually got 15 for it. So we come out ahead with 5 rupees for free, which is really nice. So basically the way it works is if we sell a mask that for more than what it's supposed to be sold for, we get free rupees. And you want to equip it before you actually talk to him, because otherwise he won't, and then he just kind of puts it on, which is, you sold the 10 rupee mask for 15, so obviously we have to go back to the Happy Mask salesman and give him the 10 rupees that, are owed for, but before we do that, let's go check out the Skulltula house, see if we can, kind of get one of these rewards for all the gold Skulltulas that we've actually, killed. But if I remember correctly, we have not actually gotten any of the rewards yet. As you can see, they all kind of drop down. For anyone who's not aware, they are all basically cursed, and yeah, we're supposed to break the curse by getting all the gold Skulltulas. So that's just something that you can do for fun if you really want to. Like I said, you don't need to complete the 100 just to get all the good things that you can get for it. But I mean, I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to like 100% them or not, but we'll have to see. So we're pretty much out of time, considering it's at 15 minutes. So in the next episode, we're going to probably go back to the Happy Mask Salesman, return the rupees to him. I think that we can also start the next mask immediately after that if we wanted to. And then we'll probably be getting started on going up Death Mountain and making our way to the Goron Village. So be sure to stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. And until next time, this is the Poke Gamer, signing out.